European protests that began in solidarity with the United States are turning attention to racial injustice in their own countries. People in London were also out this weekend demanding reform in the UK. Trent Murray was there and he spoke to some of the protesters who showed up.
Protesters pour into the streets that surround the American embassy in London. Britain's capital has seen waves of protest marches like these since the death of African-American George Floyd in Minneapolis. Many of those turning out say his death has not only illustrated that police brutality still exists in America, but has also highlighted the need to address racial injustices still faced by ethnic minorities in modern-day Europe.
People think that the UK is innocent. The UK isn't innocent. We have our own problems here that the system is trying to avoid. They are constantly trying to pin us black people down, and now that they're seeing that, okay, we've clocked onto what they're doing, they're just a bit like... So I'm happy, I'm genuinely happy that a lot of people have come out today, because now it's just like everyone's kind of alert to what's going on.
Crowds also came out in other cities, including Bristol, where a statue of Edward Colston, a 17th century slave trader, was pulled down using ropes. In London, some protesters said they hoped the gathering would inspire others.
I think that if these rallies continue, I think they'll just get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's why those that are at home, all you people who think, oh, I just couldn't be bothered today, or this, that and the other, spare like an hour even out of your time, come down here, show some support, because if you're not showing support, that means that you may be with the cause, and the cause is racism.
With the threat of COVID-19 very much on the mind of many of those attending, most chose to wear face masks and gloves. And while social distancing did prove difficult given the size of the crowd, the desire for this procession of people to have their voice heard proved more powerful than the risks associated with the pandemic. Well, after spending over an hour outside the American embassy here, these protesters have now turned around and are going to start marching towards Parliament Square. Many of them say that the reason for that is they want to remind politicians here that this is not just an American problem that's brought them out today, but a UK one as well. And while those attending these protests all come from very different backgrounds, they almost all share the same vocal commitment to their cause, vowing to continue to call for meaningful change and an end to systemic racism. Trent Murray, Euronews, London.